Now, our next presentation is from Greece. George Triantafyllou, University of Crete. His topic is mobbing in the hospitality industry, recent evidence from Greece.
Yes, good morning, everyone, from Greece, from the island of Crete. It's an honor being with you, actually. But above all, I am very touched since my grandfather was an immigrant and a restaurant owner in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I have got a cousin, also a New York singer, Simone White, in your place. So I have mixed and different feelings about being with you today. So who am I and what I'm going to present you? I work as a labor inspector for the government in Crete. And at the same time, I conduct my second PhD in mobbing in the hospitality industry. My first PhD was in tourism. Since I have been I worked in the hospitality industry for around 18 years. So what I'm going to present you is not only academic bibliography, but recent findings from my work as a labor inspector. I deal with mobbing and work harassment issues on the island. And I'm going to tell you in a nutshell a very, very brief story about the logo. The Hellenic Labor Authority, since 2021, is independent, is not under the umbrella of the Labor Ministry, and the new chief governor, Mr. Zilivakis, published a call asking for proposals for the new logo. So one day around 2 in the morning, I woke up and I questioned myself, what kind of labor inspectorate I would like to have and how they should act, how we should act, being on the other side of the bank for 18 years. I was very much questioning myself about this. So in the morning, I draw a logo, a circle puzzle with no edges, no corners, with 3 different pieces, 3 different indicators: the employer, the employee, and the labor inspector. And I wrote down my philosophy, my proposal, saying that I believe that the labor authority should bring all these 3 indicators in a working and labor balance so as to achieve peace in work. And this logo was selected by the governor and is the new logo of the Hellenic Labor Inspectorate since 2021. Concerning the hospitality sector in Greece, there are so many issues we face. For example, the seasonal employment. People entering the hospitality cannot program their family life since they work only for 5 or 6 months. They overwork. And as a result of this above, we have around 50,000 available jobs. And recently, the Prime Minister visited India in order to make some labor contracts to attract employees. The law violations we face as labor inspectorate in Crete has to do with the undeclared work, overworking, but lately we have a lot of issues, a lot of accusations concerning work harassment in the hospitality industry. We don't have we don't have come across any trafficking issues concerning that trafficking, according to the definition, is the statute that the employee cannot contact with his family, so it's a prisoner. Actually, we don't have this kind of issues of trafficking. The fines we impose to all labor sectors are 36 million and 46 million in Greece. But I want you to notice that around 50% of this refer to the hospitality industry, as a result that the hospitality industry in Greece has the major GOP in the state income. We have an increase in the fines we impose year by year, around 50%, around 40% every year. The fines in the hospitality industry are increased. Now, concerning the work harassment, and according to the new labor law, all companies above 70 employees must have policy and procedures. This is very important for the state. The companies must have procedures how to deal with accusations, and this must be approved by us. And only companies above 20 they must have procedures. We don't approve them, but they must prove that they train the staff and they have procedures and they show no limit adherence to work harassment. According to bibliography, we have noticed that the hospitality industry, compared with all the other labor sectors and academic sectors as well, has higher rates of work harassment. And it has been mentioned, of course, that bullying at work is systematic, severe psychological mistreatment, unwanted mistreatment, mainly by manager, but not only. We have we have come across cases with co-workers or subordinates that they work harass their supervisors. Now, concerning the industry, also a study in Australia shows that 86% of the respondents of the survey have come across work harassment environment. Concerning the hospitality industry, and what I am telling to the hotel owners and to the hotel employees, to the hotel owners actually, is that it is for your own good, it is for your own profit to have a healthy and to have a very good environment released from any work harassment issues. Because in the hospitality industry, they sell not only a product, but the behavior as well. So it's a combination. It's not a vending machine that you insert a coin and you get a refreshment. It's the behavior, it's the conversation you have, and I'm very often I'm questioning hotel managers. How will you achieve your goals? How will you achieve your budget? How will the employee make internal sales? How they promote a wine or a better room if they face very bad toxic situations in their work? So you don't do it for us, do it for yourself. It's for your own good to have to have an environment, a positive environment in your industry. We have many types of mobbing behavior, and it's important to say that mobbing can still be taking place if the victim is not present by gossiping, spreading rumors, or many other things. Another effect that, apart from the distress, health issues, of course, reduced productivity, one very important effect we have checked in our cases is the sickness absenteeism. It is the phenomenon where employees don't go to work. They miss the train, they miss the bus, they don't wake up, they don't hear the clock alarm. So they try to find excuses not to go to work, and consciously or not. And the outcome is, for example, the work for 10 servants, for 10 waiters, is being done by 6 waiters. So you can very easily understand the quality of the product served in the hotel if it's done by less employees than it should be. The mobbers of the companies, of the hotels, are people neurotic. They are hungry for power. They are antipathetic. They love to gain enemies. They are poisonous, and they try to cheat. They are coward. All these things are part of our survey. Now, according to the accusations, 2022, 2023, there is a 22 increase concerning the accusations and 24%. Without any doubt, we see that people are reluctant to accuse this situation, and especially in small communities. On the other hand, I have noticed that people 18 to 28 are fearless to, and educated people are fearless to accuse their hotel supervisor. Middle-aged employees are very, very reluctant to do so. So according to the cases I have dealt to in work harassment, probably the 50% is driven to court, 23% is solved. On the other hand, in the hospitality industry, around 42% of the cases are solved and less are driven to court. And only 15 or 5% concerns fines we impose to the companies. Our purpose is not to impose fines, but to heal the situations, to try to find a solution and not to impose fines. But when the company, for example, is not taking precautions or is not taking care of these situations, of course, we will impose fines. Concerning the gender, 33% last year are women. Women who are mobbers and women who are creating toxic environments. It was a surprising feature for us to find out in cases that women also are accused as mobbers, and they play this role very, very good. Food for thought, and I was very much surprised by this, is that women can be mobbers to women, and women that have been work harassed, when they get promoted, they do the same. They become mobbers. This is for me inexplicable, but it is something that we see very often. In the hospitality industry, the most cases of harassment have to do with verbal or psychological type of harassment, forms of harassment, and approximately 9% sexual or physical harassment, the same in 2023. In brief, I would like to express, to tell you a case study I was in charge of, four-star hotel in Crete. The victim was a 22-year-old female at the reception, and the mobber, listen, the mobber was an 85-year-old father, the father of the hotel owner. The father of the hotel owner. I have come across approximately another 4 or 5 situations with 85-year-old parents of the owners who are sexually harass the employees, or they are doing very, very bad things, verbal things, insulting things, humiliating things to the employees. I don't know what's happening with this age, actually. So the victim has faced verbal and psychological abuse, gender discrimination, various threats. For example, I will give you a short skirt to wear so as to attract guests. Look what the father of the owner said. Go to the kitchen to wash some plates. And she's a receptionist. You need a real man to make you feel like a woman. Never say no to me. It was very strong. He was a very strong and very hard-going person. The mobber's wife was trying many times to calm him down, and the owner, the son, was incapable of controlling his father. You can understand why, because the hotel was constructed by the father, and now it's the hands of the son. So the son is very, very helpless to reluctant to take some action. I am the one who is feeding you, so obey without any complaint. And many times he placed his face very close to hers as a threat, shouting loudly, even though when guests were present. I don't know if you can imagine all these incidents, all these cruel incidents that the employee, a 22-year-old student and a university employee who was supporting her parents as well in the mainland of Greece, what she was facing. To our surprise, the victim didn't sue the hotel, didn't inform the press, or didn't ask for any money compensation, something very, very often for us. So they only said that this gentle, innocent, admirable employee in front of me said, looking me in my eyes, said, I don't want any other employee to face the same experience. I don't want another employee to face the same. So, according to the labor dispute, according to the law, we invited both of them because, as it has been heard before, both sides must be heard. The son and his lawyer at first they were very theatrical, saying, "No, my father was the Virgin Mary. It's a lie. My father, it's a pigeon of kindness." And so I stopped the conversation and we started to speak about general social matters, about our parents, about the age, about all. We forget all these things. And I told him, yes, and my father is very old as well. And sometimes they are very hard to control them. And said, yes, of course. And my father is very negative and is very hard going. And at that point, I showed him the accusation and told him, is this a lie, sir? She described every minor detail of her experience. She's not asking for money. He's not taking you to the court. He's not going to, if he's going to the court, she will get at least 50,000 euros, at least, and she can spoil your reputation worldwide. And she is not doing this. Why? And at that time, the lawyer was speechless. She could not say anything. And according to the law, we activated the Article 19 and we removed her from the hotel without being fired. She was very much fully paid until the end of the contract. And so for 3-4 months, we removed her by an order, and she was paid all her salaries. And we activated also another article, and we ordered the hotel owner, the father of the hotel owner, to be removed from the hotel. Otherwise, they will get 50 or 1,000 euros of money as a penalty, as a fine. So this hotel is under our monitor. The owner, the 85-year-old Mober was relocated to his village, and that was very, very positive for us. The owner admitted his guilt. He took precautions, and also he spoke with his father and tell him, okay, you can go to the village to live your life, to be better there. And they issued a policy and procedure. And now for around 5 years, we will do some unexpected controls to this hotel to check if everything is under control. What is the gain of this? I dealt with this around 2 or 3 months, trying to find everything I could. And then I received an email thanking me for everything I did to her. So some general conclusions concerning the hospitality industry. Most of the hotel managers are indifferent. They say it's a misunderstanding. You didn't understood well. and 1 minute to show you this. Do you listen?
Yes.
It's Crete, the island of Crete.
Thank you.
Crete is like a continent within an island.
I feel free when I lose the sense of time, which is something I definitely found here in Crete.
When I'm walking through the Cretan nature, I feel like a child, free, curious, and happy. It's like all my travelings around the world is here in one place.
It's the best place we could find in Europe, and so we decided to stay here, and we will never want to leave this island.
Crete is paradise, energetically very special place.
Luxury is about choices, and in Crete you have a lot of them.
What I discovered here in Crete is a great variety of sports you can do. Climbing, hiking, surfing, diving.
I can take my yacht to the south, just disappear there in solitude for a while.
You have this simple traditional food in the small tavernas, and you also find fine gastronomy in hotels, in special restaurants, and it's fantastic.
I've never experienced this kind of hospitality towards me anywhere else.
The Cretan people welcomes you. They don't open only the doors, they open their hearts for you. We call it pareia, and it's perfect.
This trip has been an amazing experience for me. I'm definitely coming back.